Oh mein Gott. Punkt. Wird's jetzt revealed? Kazuma. I don't believe it. Your posture, your presence. It can only be... It's you, isn't it, Kazuma-sama? Oh god. I felt something strange the very first time I encountered this cloaked figure. As if I knew him somehow. Can it really be you, Kazuma? Wait! Too late. Ah, shit, ey. Ich dachte, das wird jetzt vielleicht revealed. What's going on here? Your apprentice. What is your interest in my apprentice exactly? You act as if you know the man or something. Well, since when has he been in your care? I don't recall you having an apprentice before I left Witten 6 months ago. Lord Strongheart introduced him to me about 3 months ago now, with instructions to mentor him as a prosecutor. But he didn't tell you why, did he? The man appears to be suffering from amnesia. He's forgotten every last detail about himself. Okay... He has amnesia! Tomorrow, he will appear in court at my side. What? He's to serve as my judicial assistant, on Lord Strongheart's orders. He'll be in court with us. Oh my god. Now then, unless I'm much mistaken, I believe this conversation has run its course. Oh, yes, thank you. Oh Mann, ich will wissen, wer es ist. I definitely saw a reaction there. When Susato-san called out like that, it really seemed to hit a nerve. When she called out Kazuma-sama. Das ist so sass alles. Oh mein Gott. Oh mein Gott. Ich bin Junge. Ich bin Junge, Leute. Ich bin Junge. You'd already you already met that masked man, hadn't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, yesterday in fact, at Lord Van Sieg's office. I see. Mann, maskierte Charaktere sind immer so mega spannend, weil man nicht weiß, wer dahinter steckt. So simpel eigentlich, aber auch so Hype aufbauend. And if Kazuma-sama really is still alive. Ich hab's am Anfang echt nicht geglaubt, dass es Kazuma-sama sein kann. Ich hab's am Anfang nicht geglaubt, aber jetzt bin ich feste Annahme. It means that Mr. Jones lied to us. Damn. Wenn das wirklich Kazuma ist und der sich danach noch erinnern kann, das wird so crazy emotional, der Reveal. Ja, und Mr. Jones hat uns scheinbar angelogen. I know. We're going to need to speak to him about that. You're going to have to leave now. The forensic investigation team are due to arrive shortly. If they find you here, it will cause problems. What sort of problems? Foreign affairs problems. Well, we could do without that. Alright, we'll be on our way. Let's go, Mr. Sato. Of course. Oh Mann. Wer ist das? Okay. Haben wir noch irgendwas mit Gina zu bereden? Investigating the scene. Gina. We were actually hoping that we could investigate the scene again. Yeah, alright. If it's around here, you can do whatever you like. Oh, that's alright, is it? Hä? Ist nicht derselbe Dialog? Gonna be playing with my new friend here. Ah yes, Toby. Apparently we can't look around on the stage now because the forensic investigation team are at work. Can't you do anything, Gina, in your capacity as Inspector Lestrade? Look, I'd like to help you out. But I'm just a trainee, ain't I? Ain't nothing I can do. When it suits you, yes. Okay. Ja, ich würde sagen, wir gehen mal zu Hurlock und stellen ihn zur Rede. »23rd October, Madame to Space.« Oh my, no wonder it's called the House of Horrors. I'd like to turn on my heels and go straight home, via the confectionery. Being scared makes you crave sweets? I can understand that. I was looking forward to a reunion after 6 months away, but there's no sign of Mr. Sholmes anywhere. That's strange. He should be here investigating the abduction of the waxwork. Oh well, I suppose we just have to come back again later. Okay. Here is things. This one's posture reveals his weakness. Sorry? The killer's stance leaves him wide open to attack. I'm quite sure I could see him off. With a Susato takedown, then a Susato squash, and finally a Susato smash. Susato and Smash? Susato and Smash was. Das wäre doch nice. Das wäre der einzige Charakter von Ace Attorney, dem ich es abkaufen würde, auch wirklich kämpfen zu können. Tatsächlich. And if that doesn't render the culprit unconscious, a Susato slam should finish him. A Susato slam. Oh, I'm sorry, it's rather hard to explain. Leave yourself open slightly and I demonstrate. Absolutely not. Ah, there's a stepladder there, look! Oh, yes, a stepladder. I think perhaps we should let the proprietors know that someone's left it out. The stepladder, I mean. Is something wrong? Why do I feel as though I just managed to sidestep an argument? Oh Mann. Okay, gucken wir hier nochmal hinter. Ah yes, the heavy curtains in the middle of the House of Horrors. Whatever's on the other side of them, you just know it's going to be terrifying, don't you? The sign says it's a Madame Tussauds special exhibit. It seems you have to pay extra to go inside. I know, can you believe that? Pay more money, as if we haven't been scared enough already. It's not my doing, Mr. Naruto. Okay. Ich glaube, dann können wir erstmal gehen. Move. Sholmes Suite vielleicht? Nein, hä? Naruto's Legal Consultancy? Nein. Da haben wir nur Susatos schöne Musik. Hier auch nicht. Forensic Laboratory. Auch nicht. Okay, ich glaube, dann müssen wir ins Gefängnis. Oh Gott. Oh nein. Oh nein. 23rd October, local prison, cell 11. What's he doing? He's... Oh my! The whole wall of the cell is covered in mathematical equations. And he's still writing more now. Professor, sorry to interrupt. Oh, Mr. Naruhodo. And who is this young lady? My name is Susato Mikotoba. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant. It's a pleasure to meet you, Professor. Oh, if only! If only I'd met a refined young woman like you sooner! None of this would have happened. No, that's not logical. That makes no sense at all. Oh dear, I'm sorry if my presence here upsets you. I owe you an apology too, Professor. I didn't manage to deliver what I promised I would in the court this morning. Oh no. No, 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 no. The whole thing. The whole miserable affair. It all happened because I've been such a complete and utter clot. Professor Hairbrain? What have you been working on in your cell? Oh, haha, you mean that? Oh dear, how embarrassing. I was suddenly struck by an idea, you see, and I simply had to write it down. The wall was all I had to hand. Oh, is it some new hypothesis? Something to surpass super high voltage and instantaneous kinesis, maybe? Kinesis? Ah, no, actually, this is my autobiography. Bitte was? Your autobiography. Seine Autobiografie, was? In mathematischen Formeln? I was diddled and fiddled by Albert Hairbrain. I found I can represent my odd fortunes with only odd numbers in an ambitious set of simultaneous equations. Really? I'm going to have to pay back all the loans I took for the kinesis machine, you see? So it's going to be a new serial publication from next month. Part 1, An Odd Birth, An Odd Upbringing. You can't beat the man's optimism, that's for sure. I see. Well, for now, would you mind if we talk a little more about the case? Oh yes, yes, of course. I've been working through the numbers. I was fiddled by the pair of them. By Asman, and by that aloof engineer, Dweber. We are not going to have to sit through an explanation of all these equations, are we? Oh, Entschuldigung. Converse. This morning's trial. Everything I believed in has been turned on its head. My research, Mr. Assman, the kinesis machine, my hypothesis even. I'm sorry it's come to this. There was really no other way. No, it's not your fault. I wanted to protect my work, but in the end, there was nothing worth protecting. It was never my intention to deceive anyone. I didn't want to trick the public. No, of course you didn't. But in court this morning I realized something. Oh. If you've done something wrong without knowing it, you've still done something wrong. Logically it makes no difference if you are aware of it or not. Ignorance is a poor excuse. The blame still lives with me. Lies with me. Oh, Professor. He believed in me this morning, you know? Baroque did. He believed in my hypothesis. Well, I think that was just a necessary factor in the prosecution establishing its case. No, Baroque wouldn't do something like that. I'm sure he genuinely believed it. Did he? I think I understand now. Why it was that he decided to take on the prosecution in my trial, I mean. Van Ziek's motivation. After the terrible accident happened, nobody would believe in my hypothesis anymore. Not the police, not the prosecution service, not any lawyers even. I feel like I dealt some kind of finishing blow there. So if any other prosecutor had taken the case, if it was anyone other than Baroque, I'm sure the prosecution would have declared my hypothesis a complete and utter nonsense. And in that case, you would have been declared a fraud yourself, Professor. Exactly, which would have been a fate worse than death for me. But Baroque insisted that I was a proper man of science from start to finish. You think that's why he... I know him very well indeed. He's an extremely kind-hearted soul. But that extremely kind-hearted soul spent all morning trying to paint you as a murderer, didn't he? Well, admittedly that part of the analysis appears to have some flaws in it. And what about the whole Reaper side of things? How does it fit in with the kind-hearted soul idea? Mr. Assman, Do you think he set out to trick me from the very start? I'm sorry to say, that does seem likely, yes. 1 minute kurz. Okay. I'm sorry to say, that does seem likely, yes. When I first met him, he introduced himself as a wealthy financier. He looked over the paper I'd written and said my work would benefit all humanity and must be pursued. He was so enthused, he was so emphatic, but in reality he was the mastermind of some vast criminal network, it seems. I still can't believe it. As the machine was essentially a set decoration for some stage magic. It probably didn't require a large amount of investment actually, but the scale of it, it wasn't just some small trick, it was a very elaborate feat of deception. All young scientists are full of hope about their burgeoning ideas, full of zeal. But none of us have any money. We want to do research, but we can't afford it. Many of us take on barely legal part-time work to try to earn just a few measly pennies to carry on. To go through all of that, only we be taken for a complete fool. It's too rotten to believe. It is, I agree. And that's why you have to find those responsible and bring them to justice. Mr. Assman is no more, of course, which leaves only the engineer. Mr. Enoch Drebber. Drebber, the engineer. Is he an engineer, or a magician, or a swindler? It was about a year ago when Mr. Assman first brought Drebber to meet me at the laboratory. Since then I've met him many times to discuss details about the kinesis machine. Warte mal ganz kurz. Wenn ihr was denkt. Ja. Okay. Also wurde quasi veräppelt. Since then I've met him many times to discuss details about the kinesis machine. But at no point did you have any inkling that he was just an illusionist. Oh, he definitely wasn't just an illusionist. What do you mean? He was a wealth of deep scientific knowledge. There's no question that the man's a genuine scientist. It's instantly apparent in conversation. I see. But the wretched man deceived you, Professor. It's unforgivable. We must do everything we can to find him and bring him to justice. Are there no more clues you can give us as to his whereabouts? I'm sorry, we only ever discussed the kinesis machine, nothing less, nothing else. Although, just once. I did visit his workshop. What workshop? Drebber's enormous fabrication laboratory, where he constructed my great machine. Okay. Why didn't you mention this before? Enoch Drebber's workshop. There's every chance we might find the man there. Okay, Drebber's workshop. So you've been to Drebber's place of work then? Yes, just once, you understand. It was an enormous place. Plenty of room to construct the kinesis machine, you see? Where can we find it? We have to go there at once. There's a good chance that we find Drebber there. Well, yes, definitely. I'm sure. As in, I'm sure you're not going to want to hear this. But I have absolutely no idea where the workshop is at all. I'm so sorry, aber war doch da. Oder wurde irgendwie dahin entführt und dann so mit Augenbinden und dann, wie? I was more than half expecting that. You see, I was blindfolded in the carriage the entire way there. Okay, yeah, war blindfolded. He blindfolded you. He wasn't taking any chances then. The place was incredible. The pinnacle of modern engineering. Even the oil he used was the very best. A special French machine oil that's impossible to obtain in Britain. Ah, the indescribable scent of that imported oil. Perfumers around the world should forget the secret formulae and use that instead. What do you think, Mr. Sato? Order machine for your next birthday? I've never used any kind of perfume, Mr. Naruhodo, and I'm not sure I'd like to start with that. I don't suppose you know even part of the workshop's address, Professor. You don't have a business card from Mr. Drebber, for example? The man was clearly very cautious, Mr. Sato. Aha! Yes, I do. He gave me his business card once. It's right here, look. What? Let me see that. Throw etiquette to the wind, why don't you? Enoch Drebber, engineer. I'm afraid that's all it says. There's no address. No. Oh well, I can't say I'm surprised. Still, this could be useful. Drebber's card has been entered into the court record. Mr. Enoch Drebber's business card, though it shows only the man's name. There's no address. Dann gucken wir uns das mal an. Enoch Drebber, engineer. Hä? Aber warum sollte man so eine Business Card haben? Das macht ja gar keinen Sinn irgendwie. Was ist das? This dark smudge here. I think perhaps it's machine oil. Ah yes, possibly. Professor Harebrained mentioned something about the oil Mr. Drebber uses, didn't he? He said it was specially imported very high quality oil that's impossible to obtain in Britain. Yes, that's right, but more importantly, it's more fragrance than the finest perfume. So, excuse me a moment. Lecker. Oh, it doesn't appear to have any scent at all. Don't worry, I expect it's just because there's such a tiny amount on here. The details of Drebber's card have been updated in the court record. There's a smear of machine oil on the reserve, okay. Zeigen wir ihm das nochmal? Professor Harebrained, what do you make of this? Oh yes, that's just what we need to prove my hypothesis, isn't it? Deine Hypothese ist schon falsch. No, it's nothing to do with your hypothesis actually. Then take it away, I don't want to be bothered with anything that doesn't assist my science. Alright, keep your abundant hair on. Okay. Kennt er den hier vielleicht noch? Ja, Drebber. Professor Harebrained, what do you make of this? Okay, es ist derselbe Dialog, also macht er gar nichts daraus. Und der Cage? Harebrained, what do you make of this? Okay, es ist einfach derselbe Dialog, over and over again. Dann sind wir fertig hier, I guess. Oder den vielleicht nochmal, den Schraubendreher. Professor, do you recognize this? Oh, it's Andrew, my faithful friend. How have you been? Are you alright? Nobody's mistreated you, have they? Don't worry, he's being very well looked after. I always rub him with machine oil until he's gleaming. Right. And then when I come to tighten the screw with him, he slips in my hand and I can't do it. Haha, it's an age-old problem faced by driver fires the world over, isn't it? I really wouldn't know, I'm afraid. Okay. Crossbow vielleicht noch? What do you make of this? Okay. Ich glaube, wir kriegen nichts mehr Wichtiges aus ihm raus. Dann gehen wir mal. Vielleicht ist Sherlock jetzt da? Nein. Experimentation Stage. Auch nicht. Forensic Laboratory, vielleicht jetzt. Auch nicht, hä? Naruhodo's Legal Consultancy? Nein. Sholmes Suite. Auch nicht, hä? Lord Chief Justice? Auch nicht. Hä? Was müssen wir denn machen? Photograph the balloon vielleicht nochmal? So, what do you make of this? Yes, it's just a blah. Ballon nochmal? What do you make of this? Oh yes, blah blah. Müssen wir die Karte vielleicht Gina zeigen? Kann das sein? Patient Stage. Present. About this, Gina. Ah, okay. Dann müssen wir es wirklich machen. Yeah, I'm still learning letters at the moment. I only know A to E, so if it ain't too much bleeding trouble. Ah, actually Gina, it's the back of the card that's important. Dann ist Gina wohl Analphabetin. Was irgendwie klar ist, wenn sie auf den Straßen von London aufgewachsen ist. How come? There's just a dirty old smudge on the back, that's all. It turns out that this very high quality French machine oil. It's a very particular scent apparently. You don't say. Let's have a whiff then. You sure? I don't smell nothing. No, we didn't mean that you should smell it. Oh, why? Ja, I mean Toby. Oh, als ob, ja, natürlich. Woof. His sense of smell is so good, he can track people over the oceans, can't he? Professor Hairbrain informs us that this oil is unique to Mr. Drebber's workshop. I think he's picked up a scent. So I mean, if he follows the scent of this oil, Toby could lead us to that dodgy Coast workshop. That's right, that's exactly what we were hoping. Alright then, we'll give it a go. I just borrow that. Well, wait, when did you... Once a pickpocket? If I can lead everyone to the Drebber's workshop, I'll be the boss before next week. The boss's boss. Oh yes, Gina, I'm sure you'll be promoted. Poor Gwex. Right then, Otto, leave it to me. Sorry? We're gonna get going after the dodgy engineer cove right this minute. Oh, but hang on. Someone's supposed to be on guard duty here all the time. I'm afraid we can't help. We need to get on with our investigation as well, Gina. Oh, right. Oh, well, never mind. It ain't gonna be me what gets it in the neck. It'll be the boss. Poor Gregson again. Ready, Toby? Got that all sent, have ya? Come on then, boy. See ya later. I do hope the scent of that oil leads them to that swindler's workshop. Yes, I hope so too. Idly before the dog swims across the channel to France. Okay, move. Ist jetzt was in Madame Two-Space? 9. Move. Forensics Laboratory. Auch nicht. Naruto's Legal Consultancy. Auch nicht. Okay. Was müssen wir machen?